Terms of agreements, power, vice, sense of self. In this short little video, I'm going to be talking about sense of self. And this self, to become the outstanding self, is the emotional self, self-emotion. Now, what do I mean by the emotional self? Now, if you ever had an intrusive thought, right, and you just thinking stuff you don't want to think about, it's usually because you're irritated with something, or you have a unconscious feeling happening at that moment. So unconsciously your frequency, you're vibrating at probably a lower frequency, or it depends if you're satisfied or happy, right? Then you're vibrating at a higher frequency. Now, whether high is good and low is bad, subjective, right? But usually, in classical thought of emotion theory, it usually works like that, right? So, implicitly, right? So, where do emotions come from? Emotions comes from your evaluation of the situation at hand. The way you evaluate something. If you evaluate something as what you consider as negative, it messes with your well-being, therefore trigger your thoughts and then trigger your emotions from your thoughts, because now you start to realize how much of a fuck up you are, right? And then vice versa, for you start to realize how awesome you are if you are, if you are vibrating positively, is because you are valuing something, right? Talk about the self-literature, right? If you are evaluating something as positive, you're going to start to have a implicit attitude change of positivity, which is going to make you have no thoughts. Actually, that's the thing that sucks the most. You probably won't have any thoughts, but you have more control over your neural processing, and that will give you awareness of how awesome you are, right? So the emotional self, right? Now, I also want to go into this. So when I said becoming the outstanding self, that means a self that if you are aware of it, when you are aware of it, you can now do without. And that's still true. Now, the one way that you can disconnect from the emotional self is by actually stop socializing. So with everything you do, you have to change your circle or the people that surround you. And by doing that, change your ideologies. You change your circle, you're going to be more positive. Watch out for people that's intrusive.